Hello guys, hope you're keeping well. Welcome back to Tax TV. Thanks for joining as ever. First of all, apologies that we didn't get the fan cams up last night. It was absolutely Baltic at full time at Oakwell last night, so I just decided, you know what, we'll just talk about it the night after. So apologies if you guys were expecting fan cams. They will be returning at Hull City on Saturday at Oakwell. So yeah, we're here to talk about yesterday's win. Yesterday's win. Can you believe it? Yesterday's win. Honestly, I was looking up at the gods last night, at the stars, thinking, what have we done to deserve a win? But yeah, 2-1 win over Derby County, and we'll talk about that today. First of all, though, guys, if you're not already a subscriber, do subscribe to this channel and do click the notifications bell to our videos. It keeps you updated when we post videos up, and obviously give us a like and let us know your comments below. And thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, 2-1 win over Derby County. And yeah, I think it was a much improved performance in certain areas. You know, we'll talk about the game. I feel that we're not the finished article yet, are we? By all means. But I think it was a glimmer of hope that there are signs that this team is good enough to stay in this league with the right manager and with a few extra recruitment signings. I think in January, I think we'll be okay at this moment in time. There's a long time to go, Brad. It did give me a glimmer of hope with yesterday, the way that we played. So we'll talk about the game. Joseph Lauman's first game in interim charge, and you know, I was really happy for him and for the team at full time. He saw how much it meant to them and to the fans, and hopefully that's the momentum that we can take into Saturday and that belief. Because the point I'll make is when you're so used to losing games, it becomes a bad habit. And it works other way. When you're used to winning games, you get that winning mentality. And I think we had a losing mentality. And I think at times yesterday, I felt that at times we managed to struggle to manage the game in the last 15 minutes, in my opinion. We sat back and I felt that we didn't manage the game properly. We got away with a lot of missed opportunities from Derby. We'll get into that, but I feel that was because one of the reasons was the mentality that they're not used to being in front. We're not used to being in front at a game towards the end of the game. And I felt that, you know, getting that win by hook or crook, you know, mentality will change that in the future. Hopefully that means that we can get in front and manage the game a little bit better and also have a bit more confidence and self-belief. So a few changes. It was Collins in goal, Britton on the right, Styles on the left coming back in, Moon dropping back into defence with Anderson and Hellick, Kitchen dropping to the bench, Gomez and Benson in midfield with Larry Secker, Adebayo and Woodrow up front as the captain. And I felt that Gomez and Benson played really well together, actually. Gomez, really good find. You know, well done to the recruitment. I will say well done to the recruitment for that. Really good finding. He's a really good player. I think the more he works his way into the season, we'll see him adapting and getting better each game. I think that game suited him well. I think he was the real good outlay for us. He was dropping deep, picking up the ball, doing the simple work. You need to have a player like that on your side, in my opinion, that does the basics well. And I think he did that well. He kept us ticking over. He was switching play when it needed to be. Weren't always on one side all the time. When we were getting cornered, he was switching it over and going to the other flank, which I felt worked. And yeah, that was a really good partnership. Nice to see Benson back in. And I think he's that creativity that we've missed. I would like to see him a little bit further forward in periods during games, just to support that front three even more and to, you know, make that push on. Maybe that, as I suppose, with experience, that will come. A midfielder, I feel that they can get behind, you know, and gamble. But I suppose when you've got two in midfield, it's also hard. I think if you had a three, give a bit more license to play then. Callum Britton, a shout out to him. Like, you know, I've been a big critic of Callum Britton this season, and I think he had a really good game. Involved in both goals. First one down the flank, and obviously the free kick for the second goal. But we'll talk about the first goal for Derby. I think it was a soft goal to concede. We fell asleep from the throw-in. I felt that Collins were wanting to come forward for it, then he's gone back in. And it's the ball through for Baldock, and a decent finish by him. It's gone between Styles and Moon, I think it is. Moon made the initial header out. And for me, he should have gone over Styles and to the left. He's headed it back in. He's headed it straight back into danger. We fell asleep. We looked flat-footed, and, you know, it's a through ball, and Baldock's, you know, come back across Collins into the far corner, decent finish. Derby started well, first 5-10 minutes. We grew into the game, and I felt we had a couple of good chances. Layer Secca had a header straight at Roos, their keeper. Could he done better? I don't know. I think it was one of those that, I think the keeper was, maybe putting Layer Secca off with his presence, and then we had from a corner, Helic had a header, and then it was deflected off their defender. The keeper kept off the line, so we had two decent chances in the first 20 minutes, but went behind. And I'm worrying, thinking, oh God, here we go again. Can we come back into it? I felt, if we conceded a second quick after that, it might have been curtains, but we stayed in the game. We regrouped. We've slowly worked our way back into it. I felt that yesterday the way for us to win that game was to the channels. Davis and Clark at the back, two big lumps at the back for Derby. They're going to win headers and long balls all day long and physical challenges, but for me, we should have gone down the channels, and that's what we did. Down the flanks, use as full, wing backs to his advantage. And for the first goal, it's a lucky deflection off the defender. It's wrong foot to the keeper, but you need that at times. But I think we did something different. We weren't passing the ball back. Adebayo gambled, backed himself, and I'm really pleased for him. I don't know if he's got the goal accredited, but I'm really pleased for him, and felt he had another half decent game again. I would like to see he still use his strength more, and also his decision making at times. Very inconsistent from one moment to the next, but there is a player there. I think it's, and I've been a big critic of Adebayo again, but it's so frustrating. Like, he does something really good and he uses his strength because he's obviously a massive lad. And then next thing is like his touch is poor, and he does a little flick here and there, or he misses a gilt-edged chance. But hopefully, same with Cole, with the goal he got against Sheffield United, we've seen him push on and improve, and same with Layer Secca. That could be the catalyst for the next few games, and fingers crossed that we did. And I felt, 1-1 at half-time, going behind, we've come back into the game, we can regroup and go into half-time, and we came out second half really strong and got the goal, and I felt that game was going to be won by, that decisive goal and free kick. Britain, instead of going backwards, he went forwards, which maybe would he have done that in recent weeks? I don't know, but Layer Secca's caught their defence sleeping, and he's still had a lot to do because the keeper's in front of him. When you've got that much time, you can overthink, and that's what we've missed, in my opinion, a finisher in recent weeks. We've missed a finisher, and Layer Secca's been given a chance by Shop at the end of his tenure, and obviously it's his third goal in three, and really pleased for Layer Secca. Really good finish. The one thing that I did notice, we had a pressure after that, and I felt that could we have pushed on for a third? Am I being a bit greedy? I don't know. But did we need that 2-goal cushion? I felt that we did, because I felt that longer at 2-1, we naturally went deeper. You could see it. Deeper. And then at the end, we were on his 18-yard box, and get out. Made some subs. Palmer came on in the midfield. Gomez had a knock, and I think we were weakened due to that. Palmer came on. He was slow to get into the game. Weren't getting over. They had a spare man all the time on the right-hand side of their midfield in the second half, last 10 minutes. He looked slow to get up to. It was quite a frenetic pace. They hit the bar at the end. It's like, oh my God. So we got away with it, didn't we? We got away with it. If that's a better side, do they score at the end? Maybe, yeah. Do they also get a couple of goals at the end? Maybe, yeah. But listen, a win's a win. And, psychologically, hopefully that is a change. Because like I said earlier, you're so used to losing, it becomes an habit. So to get that win, get it out of the way, get them points on the board, we can work that towards Hull. And there were a lot of positives. The character, like I said, to come from behind. The fight. I think we were quicker in distribution. I still feel we can be quicker. I still feel that we can be quicker in distribution. Getting teams on the break, making more of them counter-attack opportunities, and being more clinical in them senses, backing ourselves. Also, I think we need to, even so, get round the flanks more. During games, Styles, I felt, was very quiet last night. He had a penalty appeal. I mean, I didn't really see if it was a penalty or not. I saw him go down, but, only then from the Ponte end will see if it was a foul or not. But I felt he was quiet. He obviously first came back from being out, but he was quiet yesterday. I don't think his confidence has gone down. Helic had a good game. I thought Moon had a good game in the second half. Anderson, I'm glad he's back, but he does frustrate me. Anderson, he made 2 silly fouls in the space of a couple of minutes at the end there, and a couple of set-piece opportunities for Derby. And if they score from that, we've only got ourselves to blame because we've not managed the game properly at the end there. And Anderson, it's his 3rd season in the Championship as a centre-half, and he still frustrates me. I love him to pieces, but he frustrates me at times. He's so like in the gung-go. But I suppose he's done a lot of good performances, and overall, I felt he had a decent game. Gomez and Benson, like I said, worked well. Benson with some lovely passes, switching play. I think that's something that we've missed. Woodrow were quiet, I'm going to say that. Woodrow was quiet out of the 3. I'm surprised he got 90, and that's been mentioned at the Sheffield United home game. It's been mentioned a lot of home games and away games this season that Woodrow just is not up to it at the minute. I understand why he plays, because he can get a goal at any minute. He's a threat from set pieces with the free kicks. He's obviously his captain, but at the same time, I feel that does he need not a rest, but when he's been quiet, for me, you've got to show that you can bring him off as well. I just think he were quiet. He were dropping deeper because I felt like he were dropping deeper, and for me, I'd like to see him being pushed up further. I think because he's not the fastest of strikers, I think he gets in the way sometimes. Where he'd get up the pitch, create that space, make that defender work rather than dropping back. I love Woodrow, obviously his contribution to the club, but I think he had a quiet night last night, you can say that. Leia Aseka felt it always a threat, and we've got goal threats going forward now. We've got Cole, who's, for me, had a good contribution when he came on. Thought Jordan Williams got stuck in on that left-hand side. So, listen, with Morris coming back after the international break, obviously we're looking for a new manager now. Things start to be a little bit more positive, don't they? We've only obviously gone up 1 place in the table, but I think, like I said earlier, psychologically that could be a massive boost. And listen, a massive game last night, 6-pointer in a way already, because obviously where Derby are in the league, I don't think they're a bottom of the table team. They've been obviously handed that due to the points deduction, but you've got to play against what you play against, and it's a big opportunity again on Saturday against Hull. They've lost at West Brom last night, and they're in a bad run of form. They're wanting their manager out, Grant McCann. They've come back up to the Championship and struggled. So a winnable game for us at home. We'll take the positives. The lads, I'm sure, will be bouncing on the training ground, and like I said, they've got that first win out of the way, and let's make it another. Go into the international break. You kind of don't want it to come, do you? If we win on Saturday, you don't want the international break to come. You want to keep playing. But I suppose that's a good time for the manager to come in, for us to identify the best man for the job, to come in. I'd like to see my manager come in. We'll talk. By the way, I think Neil's going to be doing a video for the Hull City game, a preview with a few guests. So stay tuned for that. But really good performance overall last night. Battling performance. That's what we need. Bit more fight, and I think we lacked a bit of character at times over the last few weeks. We've shown that last night we've got it in us. So really pleased. My man of the match, I would say, was Gomez. I'm going to say Gomez was my man of the match. I think he really kept us ticking over. We saw the effects when he came off, what his presence is on the field. I think he's a really good outlay between the defence and the strikers. Keeps it simple, keeps the ball ticking over, keeps the defenders working because they're having to shift all the time. And I think the longer the season goes, I think he'll get better for us. Same with Leia Aseka, it's a different standard coming from France, and you've seen what we've seen what he can do. His finishing, his quality, and he works hard for the team, so that's a massive bonus. So yeah, that's the review for Derby County, guys. Again, apologies for not doing the videos last night. By the time I got home, it was nearly midnight, and it was absolutely freezing. I didn't want to make the lads stand there for 5-10 minutes when they were absolutely Baltic at the end, like I said. So I thought I'll do a video today. You still get content, and then we can do the Hull City preview, and then go back into it as usual. The fan cams or the usual characters will be there on Saturday. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give your thoughts